Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I have to say sparking like that because there's an exclamation point at the end of it. It broke the Steam record for the most played fighting game. I think it was 120,000 people were playing on Steam, which it always sneaks up on me how big Dragon Ball is, like is a global phenomenon. But people people love their Dragon Balls. They really like it. Probably even right now, it's got a shit ton. I did not partake in the Sparking Zero. Bruce or Zeke, did you guys play it at all?
I'm just the worst person in the world at fighting games, and I don't want to get my ass beat for 3 hours or whatever when I stream it. So I'm like, gotcha. I'm sure it was great, you know, like, yeah. But I just no, thank you.
Yeah, 101,000
it has two big no's for me. It's a fighting game and it's Dragon Ball. Two subjects I know desperately little about.
Okay, you didn't watch Dragon Ball as like a kid? Well, I guess you might have been too old when Dragon Ball came out to be like a Dragon Ball fan. Is that?
I mean, I don't know. Like, when did it hit its stride?
I would say late 90s.
Yeah, I was in the late 90s. You know, I was born in 1980, so like,
yeah,
in late 90s, I was 17, 18, 19. So I was concerned with other things at that point.
Zeke and I just missed it because I was born in 81.
Okay.
And my a few friends of mine that were like 2 or 3 years younger than me were watching Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
And I remember watching it with them and being like, what the fuck? Terrible. Like, this dude screams for 3 episodes. Like, are you joking? But that said, I'm not at all like shitting on Dragon Ball. It's just more of me. Like, back then I was just like, what is this? And yeah, and there's a lot of filler, but it's a super cool story. So
yeah.
When people ask me if I've seen stuff like nostalgic things, we had like, this was still in the era of like mostly watching television, right? And you could only watch the television that was piped to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like in Montana, like we didn't get a lot of cool shit, you know?
You mean in Montana, they weren't like, hey, can we watch that Dragon Ball Z tonight, folks?
No, dude. Like, I mean, when people had when the word anime was like solid, and most of the world knew what anime was, we were still calling it Japanimation.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
When people started saying anime to me, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? They're like, oh, you know, like Sailor Moon or Dragon Ball. I was like, mean Japanimation? Yeah. And they're like, where the fuck are you from? Are you a caveman? What is wrong with you?
Sure. Yeah. Well, to be honest, the probably first channel that would play it where you're from, Zeke, would be like a Spanish channel. Was probably playing Dragon Ball, right? Or did it pop up on like Cartoon Network or something first?
Well, first of all, you assume we had a Spanish channel. We did not.
There was no Spanish channel. There wasn't a
not in Montana. Not in Montana.
No, when I first visited, like I went to Orlando, Florida when I was like 14 years old to go to Disney World with my family. There was like 3 or 4 Spanish channels. And I'm like, what the fuck? What is this?
Okay.
And I come to find out, like, you know, in most of the rest of the world, like there's normally a 1 or 2 or multiple foreign language channels that you can get on your television. Like, I got nothing, 0.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The biggest station we got piped in was Denver's 4, and it was on channel. I still remember it's on channel 33 because. In the morning, it had this shitty fucking clown show called Blinky's Funhouse or something shitty like that. And then, but the reason why I remember it is because after school, you get to see shit like Darkwing Duck and Tailspin and Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers and shit like that. So like, that's why I remember that channel, because it would be on from the night before. And I turn on and be like, God, get this scary hobo clown like off of my screen.
Binky's.
It was terrifying.
Channels. Yeah. Yeah.